Chapter 1. You have no sense of humor, miss. Oh, he said he would not hold a banquet. The gentleman of the night, who was several cuts above me and used to taking care of women. Wouldn't they just play with someone like me? Just then an image popped up in the back of my mind. It was that boy called Kagerou. If I chose that young boy, he must be close to my age. I'm sure that I could at least talk to him without flinching, couldn't I? I'd like to choose the person called Kagerou. Kagerou, huh? But are you really choosing Kagerou? Aroha-san's eyes shined strangely. Well, it will be fine this time. Hey, the trainee over there, bring Kagerou and Kagura here. Called by Aroha-san, Kagero-san and Kagura-san appeared at once again. What do you want? Kagerou, Kagura, you came, did you? Hida told me Misao here has chosen you, Kagerou. Me? But Aroha-san, Wait, Kagerou. Standing at his side, Kagura-san used one hand to hold Kagero-san back. He looked at me quietly. Miss, Kagura was still a young trainee under my tutelage. He is not allowed to take on clients. Won't you reconsider your choice? I see. I don't know much about the red light district. At that time, I felt Kagero-san's finely sharpened glance on me. The gleam of his eyes was like the point of a blade. What did this mean? Well, miss, how would you like to choose Kagerou here? Kagerou is attached to Kagura, so he will also be there at the banquet with him. Yes, please. You guys don't have any objections, do you? If it will be like this, then no, I do not. If Kagura-san says it's fine, then I do not mind. The boy looked back at me and then lowered his head with his luscious black hair. I am still inexperienced. For now, I am happy to accept your words. He was a polite boy. Were the harsh words and glance that he directed at me earlier just my imagination? Oh, nice to meet you. I thought he was a mysterious man. As I was left with a mysterious impression of this black-haired gentleman's appearance, I was guided to the parlor. As we were led towards the parlor by the young attendant ahead of us, Kagero-san, who was walking in front of me, stopped. You are such a nice lady. I heard a small voice, one that only I could hear. Huh? The normally harsh, shocking voice, complete change of attitude left me speechless. I can't believe that you chose me, even though I have yet to make my debut as a gentleman. I thought that you must be some country girl who knows nothing of how to play in the red light district. Well, It certainly was my first time in the red light district. But do I really have to be subjected to such harsh comments? Since Aroha-san supported you, I assume that you are from a very good family. But I hate people who don't even know the manner of play in the red light district. Since you chose Kagura-san, I will treat you as a client. But you should understand my intention in doing so. Okay. I was totally taken aback by this boy's sharp tone. Then, this will be your parlor for today. The sliding door in front of the room was opened. The parlor room that I was guided to had already been prepared for a banquet. Misao-san, come here. In this room, in which gorgeous furniture and trays had been arranged, Kagero-san urged me to sit down. Well then, let's begin. Let us begin this gorgeous and splendid banquet that some call the best in Yoshiwara. The banquet was splendid and dazzlingly extravagant. There were songs that brought me comfort, and brilliant dances. These decorated the atmosphere around me with further brilliance. This was a banquet in the entertainment district of Yoshiwara. It was otherworldly. Have another drink. No, I'm okay. I can't drink much. I was between Kagura-san and Kagero-san, and they both poured sake for me. You don't like sake? This man was also very beautiful. I almost dropped my cup of sake because of his sultry gaze. Your hands. Are you okay? Kagerou-san scooped up the cup that I almost dropped along with my hands. His fingers were faintly white and slender. These are the fingers of a gentleman of the night in Yoshiwara. Yes. The heat of his fingers that I felt from the place that he touched shook my consciousness. So what kind of entertainment do you like? You should say which songs you like, not just that you like dancing or singing. Thank you for taking care of me, but I didn't know a thing about this sort of play. So even when asked about my preferences, I wasn't sure how to answer. Kagerou-san looked at me suspiciously while I remained puzzled as to how to answer. Just then, Kagerou-sama, Aroha-san needs to talk to you about the client from earlier. The sliding door was opened and a young gentleman whispered in Kagerou-san's ear. My apologies. I need to excuse myself for a moment. While I'm away, Kagerou will entertain you in my place. That's okay for you, isn't it, Kagerou? Certainly. Misao-san, please ask me anything. Okay. Kagerou-san left the parlor room accompanied by attendants and trainees, and I was then left alone with Kagerou-san. Then suddenly, Kagerou-san sighed with apparent disappointment. It was quite tasteless of you to refuse his offer of sake. Huh? Really? The boy changed his tone as soon as everyone left the room. I looked twice at him, twice in awe of his chiseled face. What are you thinking about? Even if you ask me what... I'm sorry. I apologize if I've made you feel bad. There's no need to apologize. But please refrain from behaving in a way that will bring shame to Kagerou-san. Okay. I guess it can't be helped. Until Kagerou-san returns, I will teach you a little, Misao-san. Yes, great. Well then, please teach me. Kagerou-san quickly brought his shoulders close to me. He was at a distance where we were almost touching each other. Well, we'll start with how to receive sake. Okay. From under his jet black hair, the boy's eyes pierced straight through me. There was a prideful and sharp glint in his eyes. I couldn't imagine that this boy would sell his love to women. But this boy will someday obtain the skills of seduction. To have women at his mercy? You are trying to learn something from me, but why do you keep looking at my eyes like that? As I remained unable to look away from him, his jet black eyes scrutinized me in a critical manner. What did you imagine would happen with someone like me who can't even have clients yet? Kagerou-san placed his slim finger on my cheek. What were you thinking? I remained bound by the boy's sharp eyes. I definitely wasn't thinking something like that. Even though I'm an apprentice, I'm still a man in Yoshiwara. I'm well aware that this finger and voice of mine all exist to pleasure women. His manner of speech implied something sexual, and when he placed his pale finger on my cheek, it felt like something immoral. Though I do find it interesting to surrender yourself to ecstasy in Yoshiwara. With what desire did you come to Yoshiwara, Misao-san? Kagerou-san's face came quietly close to me. The words that he spun from his thin lips poured into my ear. Please stop. Are you making fun of me? This boy was about the same age as me. Kagerou-san's beautiful appearance seemed terrifying to me, so I firmly shut my eyes. You have no sense of humor, miss. He suddenly distanced himself from me and said that in a scoffing manner. You were joking? Of course. I won't do anything to ruin Kagerou-san's reputation. Kagerou-san and I are different from gentlemen like Takao-san and Tokiwa-san. We don't flatter our clients like they do. The boy flashed his black eyes in a cruel manner and then laughed. Kagerou-san? Pardon me, miss. But the fact is that you do not know the etiquette of playing in the red light district. I will help you momentarily until Kagerou-san returns. I no longer felt the air of mystery that surrounded this boy earlier. He was now completely serious, and he began teaching me etiquette. And that's all I can teach you. Thank you so much. But why did you go through all the trouble to teach me? I just can't bear to have Kagerou-san bothered by this. I didn't do this for you. As the boy sniffed at me with a cool look on his face, it felt like there was something that I just couldn't hate about him. The fact of the matter was that his intensely transient instruction and tone shook my feelings. What happened to me? As I thought about such things, pardon me, I'm back from taking care of my business. The sliding door was opened with his ringing voice. Kagerou-san, it appears that you've enjoyed the banquet with my substitute without issue. Yes, I didn't miss a thing. Kagerou backed away while seated. After that, he only acted to make Kagerou-san shine. As the banquet passed its peak, I found myself unconsciously looking for Kagerou-san, who had left unnoticed. Where is Kagerou-san? Are you worried about him? No, it's not like that. I'm going to the bathroom for a bit. But I stood up and left the parlor room. I wasn't trying to find that boy, and as I told myself that, I walked through the hallway where the sounds of the banquet rang out from all around me. Yes, just a little bit. I was just concerned about something deep inside that straight glance of his. No, I can't. I won't be forgiven. was that Kagerou-san's voice just now? It came from the backyard. I hid myself behind a pillar and looked at him in secret. Kagerou, please, reconsider. But that's... I was concerned about the contents of their conversation. I can't really hear it from here. But Kagerou-san can't have any clients, so why was he talking to a woman? After a while, the woman left through the back door. Misao-san? I was spotted by Kagerou-san. Did you hear what we were just talking about? No, I was just passing by. Please keep what you just saw just now a secret. Okay, I won't tell anyone. You absolutely mustn't. Don't forget it. I'll never forgive you if you break this promise. What a scary face. I felt so for the first time after seeing the boy's sharp glance. I promise. Okay, I'll believe you. Well, I'll be going then. The boy then turned around and went back to the parlor room as if nothing happened. What was that all about? Something that he can't let anyone know? Did he have a secret communication with her? Or is this just Yoshiwara? Would he commit a crime born from love and lust? With a frantic feeling burning inside my chest, I continued to stare intensely at the hallway where the boy had just left. Chapter 2: The Secret. After that, I went back to the parlor room, and once the banquet came to an end, Kagerou-san and Kagerou-san came to the entrance to see me. Misao-san, I hope you enjoyed your banquet in Kikuya. Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity. To be honest, this banquet in the red light district was nothing but gorgeous, so I really felt like I was in a dream. If you have the opportunity, please come to Kikuya again. Next time I will organize a banquet that is more relaxed. You seem to be a little distracted this time. It was like he read my mind. It felt like my heart skipped a beat. All right then, goodbye. I went through the entrance and left the shop. When I went outside, a comfortable night breeze fell upon my hair. Wait, please. Kagerou-san? I heard his voice behind me and quietly looked back. Kagerou-san was running after me. What happened? Well, instantly I saw his slim fingers wavering in front of my face. I forgot to say something that I should have said before. I want you to come again. The boy's fingers hesitantly grabbed the hem of clothing. Despite his manner of speech, I could see myself reflected in his serious eyes. Oh no, don't worry about it. No, it is a very important thing. I would be scolded by Kagerou-san later if I didn't do this. Does that mean you wouldn't have gone to the trouble of saying that if you weren't going to be scolded? I was about to say something mean without even knowing it. But when the boy in front of me released the grip that he had on my clothing, his face returned to that cool expression that he had on earlier. Since we have a secret between us, he quietly said so. I remembered the woman that I saw in the backyard. Please don't tell anyone about it. Yes. I bowed lightly and then turned my back to him, but I continued to feel his serious gaze on my back. I walked through the town of Yoshiwara, which shined bright red in the dark of the night. I sometimes heard the alluring voices of men trying to attract me. Perhaps I came to the wrong place. I felt even the shower of cherry blossoms on the main street was sneering at me. There was something interesting about that boy. I want you to come again. But I didn't think I could grant his wish. I left the night town called the town that knows no night, like I was running away from it. The next day, at sunrise, I was nothing more than the daughter of a shipping agent. When I recall my memories from last night, my heart still flutters again. But now I was in the middle of running errands at the request of my mother. I walked the main street filled with merchants to deliver the imported books in my hands. Just then, in the corner of my eyes, I saw someone who shouldn't be here. Just now, was that Kagerou-san? But why was a gentleman who was bound to the red light district come out of Yoshiwara? And for that matter, so brazenly in the middle of the day? I hid myself behind a wall and followed Kagerou-san with my eyes. I've already told you not to talk about it anymore. But, Kagerou, even if you say that, please just listen to me. That woman next to him, was she the same person that I saw last night in Kikuya's backyard? At first glance, she looked to be wearing the clothes of an old woman. Enough already. If you plan on continuing this conversation, you should do so another time. Wait, Kagerou! Kagerou-san spoke in a striking manner, and then he left the woman and came towards me. The woman appeared to drop her shoulders in disappointment and left to the side of the road. He might suspect that I listened in on their conversation. As he was coming towards me, in front of Kagerou-san, Hello, fancy meeting you in a place like this. That voice, Misao-san? What are you doing in a place like this? I was just stopping by to run some errands for my family's business. Our conversation just now, the woman. Are you talking about the conversation with that lady before? I didn't listen to what you guys were talking about, so I don't know anything. Oh, I see. For some reason, he loosened the tense attitude that he had up until a moment ago and then glared at me. But if you're helping your family's business, then that means I thought you were the daughter of some rich family. But you were just a merchant's daughter? Looking at my face, he raised the corners of his mouth and chuckled in a deriding manner. What do you mean? Well, now I understand why you seem unsophisticated. Despite your age, you don't even know how to play in the red light district. You must have been raised with such care. Please stop making fun of me. Anyway, what is a gentleman's apprentice such as yourself doing outside of Yoshiwara? Because as you said, Misao-san, I'm an apprentice. Because I'm a student. I spend my day studying and learning skills. So that's why you're outside of Yoshiwara? Just as he said that, though the clothing he wore was gorgeously embroidered, it seemed that he was wearing a student's gown. That's right, and that lady before was also just a teacher from the school I'm attending. After adding what seemed to be a far-fetched explanation, he started on this. Would make sense. But then what about last night? Why would a school teacher come to the red light district? There are no men on this island, so I guess it might not be so strange for even teachers to come to the red light district. No. And you, Misao-san, what kind of errands are you running for your business? I was on my way to deliver some books to a few bookstores in the area. I took a thick book out of the package that I was carrying and showed it to him. This book is... how rare. Isn't this an imported book? Can I have a little look inside the book? Without waiting for my reply, Kagerou took the book into his hands and opened its heavy cover. This is a history book for a foreign country. Kagerou-san's expression instantly turned into one of delight. And this part is what my teacher is teaching me right now. With interest, Kagerou-san turned through the pages of the book that I couldn't even read. His fingers were beautiful, but more than that, I was captivated by the boy's lively attitude that was different from last night. Can you read that foreign language? Just a little. Kagerou-san told me. He can read that? You didn't know that? Kagerou-san has been called the most knowledgeable gentleman in Yoshiwara. He knows swordsmanship, calligraphy, language, and classical literature. This is actually good timing. It just so happens that I was looking for a study book. Misao-san, does the bookstore that you're going to have a lot of books like that? Yes, I think so. Okay, then I will go with you. Huh? With me? Is that okay? Kagerou-san, who had already started walking, then turned back. Why do you look so surprised? Let's go, Misao-san. Yes, we'll go together. Though surprised by the unbelievable change in his attitude from last night, we were now going to the bookstore together. After arriving at the bookstore that we were looking for, I first came to bookstore. While I was doing this, Kagerou-san perused the shelves. He reached out for books with curiosity. I didn't know there was a bookstore for texts on studies and skills in a place like this. It seems that it opened recently. You didn't know about it, Kagerou-san? Of course I heard about it, but I just didn't think it was worth it to come here. Oh, please hold these. Okay. As soon as I responded, he gave me a load of books to carry. I don't think I can hold this pen. Kagerou-san? Why do you think I brought you here with me? Huh? Hold this book too. Okay. But my hands are almost full, so you can hold a little more, can't you? Huh? But look at your arms. It seems your arms are better suited for heavy physical work than my thin arms. As usual, he was still saying harsh things to me. His eyes were smiling with joy. It's all right, isn't it? When he directed this age-appropriate, boyish expression, as it can be helped. Okay, but make this book the last one, please. We left the bookstore and walked along the main street next to each other. I bought more books than I thought I would. Black eyes were narrowed with happiness as he looked into the package in his hands. Kagerou-san, you're in a very good mood today, aren't you? I was just find it amusing that you were happy to carry my stuff. So I was just someone to carry your stuff? You just noticed that? You're something else. But thank you. I'm grateful for your assistance. No, thank you. Having difficulty to honestly express his emotions must be part of Kagerou-san's character. In any case, you really like to study, don't you, Kagerou-san? Not only studying, I also like martial arts, and the reason that I can go to a school like this is because of Kagerou-san's support. I want to pay him back, even if just a little. I didn't expect to see Kagerou-san with such an expression on his face. After I seeing Kagerou-san like that, what a wonderful sentiment. It's only natural. I really hate people who forget their debt of gratitude. Hey, why did you make me say that? Shame on you. I finished what I needed to do, so we should get going. As Kagerou-san turned his face away and walked ahead of me, his cheeks turned a little red. Oh, wait, Kagerou-san! I happily chased after Kagerou-san, who was moving forward ahead of me at a quick pace. Chapter 3. Kagerou in the Daytime. Why don't we take a little break around here? These books also seem to be heavier than expected. Kagerou-san pointed to the package containing the books. For the package, you should ask the shop over there to have it delivered to Yoshiwara. We then went into the store on the street and left after asking them to send the package. I guess even a girl who knows nothing of the world knows her own yard well. In any case, thank you. We have many regular clients here, and I've been running around here freely since I was little. You were quite a tomboy, weren't you? What do you think? But you said freely, right? What kind of feeling was that? Kagerou-san's roguish eyes suddenly became clouded. How long will I be able to come out to attend school like this? Kagerou-san's eyes quietly stared at the river running along the side of the road. The water's surface rippled as it reflected the sun's rays, and it would occasionally shine beautifully upon Kagerou-san's profile. I want to continue to study and train, but the boy's profile looked mature for his age, and it somehow made my heart race. Well, why don't we sit down and talk a little? Good idea. The weather is nice today anyway. We sat down on a long bamboo bench situated alongside the river. It was my first time sitting down next to a man, so I wasn't sure how far I should be from him. After you officially start to have clients, will it become difficult to go out? You really don't know anything about the business. I'm sorry. I guess it can't be helped. So it looks like I'll have to teach you again. Though Kagerou-san let out a sigh, he proudly displayed his raised index finger. Normally, the higher the gentleman is, the more restrictions there are on what he does. Even so, Kagerou-san can still go out for training. But Kagerou-san is allowed this exception due to his popularity. Not everyone is allowed to do that. Really? So you can't do that either? This person, who chose those books with stars in his eyes, if he became a gentleman of the night, then he wouldn't even be able to study freely? Why do you have such a simple face? Without that happy-go-lucky smile on your face, you'll just be a regular, boring girl, you know? Oh, he said it in a harsh way. I guess it was his way of showing his concern. Your son, yeah, you're right. We don't need to think about the future just yet. And today was kind of a nice day. Kagerou-san mumbled the end of his sentence and then looked away from me. I don't really have a chance to spend time on a Yoshiwara with someone around my age. Well, actually, I've almost never had the opportunity. Before we knew it, the sunset illuminated the town in an orange hue. I'll let you know when I find more rare books, Kagerou-san. That would make me happy. Just then, Kagerou-san's glance was drawn in by something, and his eyes stopped at the top of my head. Oh, don't move. Huh? With a serious look in his eyes, Kagerou-san extended his fingers toward my forehead. The chiseled outline of his face came near me, and I could clearly hear my racing heart. Oh, in that instant, I saw something flutter by. Is it a dragonfly? I thought it would be rare to see one since it's out of season. Got away? To my relief, the boy's face that was once close to me was near distance. Then, Kagerou-san took a pocket watch out of his coat and looked. How rare. You have a Western watch. I have some connections with a foreign country. Perhaps it was just my imagination, but did he have a little trouble saying that? Anyway, I need to go back to Kikuya soon. Misao-san, where is your house? I didn't understand why he asked me that, so I cocked my head to the side in confusion. Just then, I'm saying that I will see you to your house. Oh, okay. And so Kagero-san ended up seeing me to my house. However, this shop is smaller than I expected. Kagero-san looked at the outer appearance of the store and knitted his brow. I heard you need a lot of money if you want to spend a night in a shop like Kikuya. Could he be suspicious of the source of my money? Well, don't worry about my money. Business has been going very well. I see. You're saying that you're a merchant who has come into money, aren't you? I don't really know much about that, so I have no intention to pry. Well, I'll be going then. He appeared dismissive as he attempted to turn his back to me and leave. Kagerou-san, thank you so much for today. My voice was unexpectedly strong. Kagerou-san looked back at me from over his shoulder. Did my loud voice surprise him? Why? As I looked into his bewildered eyes, something sprung into my mind. Though I was no longer had any intentions to go to Yoshiwara, I just wanted to see him again. Is it okay if I go to the shop again? I want to see you again, Kagerou-san. Misao-san, you want to see me? With his eyes opened wide with surprise, I felt that he did look the same age as me. Yes, please, I'm waiting for you. The faint smile on his face made him appear mature. What was this feeling? Why did I think about him so much? Of course, if you chose Kagerou-san, but yes. Well, see you again. Kagerou-san bowed politely, and with his back standing straight up, he left. I kept looking at his boyish yet manly back for a long time. Kagerou-san. I didn't expect there to be a gentleman like him in this district of pleasure that knows no night. I thought he was a person who only said harsh things, but he was still a boy near my age. Those shining eyes of his that I saw in the bookstore, when I remembered them, something warm filled my heart. If I go to Kikuya, I can see him again. When I opened the sliding door of my shop and tried to enter my home, I found something twinkling on the ground. What is this? Curious, I picked up the small, shiny object. Could this be an imported item? As I curiously examined it, it looked similar to part of a pendant accessory that I saw before when I was assisting at the store. I couldn't find anything like the tiny chains and strings that came with those types of items. It doesn't seem like something that we purchased for the shop. Did someone drop it? Could it belong to Kagerou? He told me he had some connections with a foreign country, but just as I was trying to wrap my mind around this, hello, are you an acquaintance of Kagerou? The woman that Kagerou-san argued with earlier in the day started to talk to me. You must be Kagerou-san's school teacher? Oh, did he say something like that? Confused, the woman gracefully laughed. My name is Xion. I'm Kagerou's sister. What? You're Kagerou-san's sister? In reaction to this unexpected turn of events, all I could do was stare at her. Though quiet, there was a faint hint of Kagerou-san in her eyes. For some reason, Kagerou and I were separated from each other. I went to the mainland on my own and was blessed with a good husband, so my family lives well. I feel sorry for Kagerou-san to think that he had no choice but to become a gentleman of the night. Oh, really? But why were you separated from him? The woman pressed her eyes to stop from crying and then gave me a serious look. You must already know that hardly any boys are born on this island. Yes. But this also means that a boy is born to be separated from his family. That is the fate that awaits him. He will be imprisoned in Yoshiwara as a gentleman. Jian-san's story told of the painful, hidden reality of this island. Fortunately, because of my husband, I was able to make enough money to buy his freedom. And even though I've said this to him many times, he won't listen to me. Really? Why? For a gentleman of the night in Yoshiwara, to have your freedom bought should be more than a dream, surely. You seem to be close with Kagerou, so could you convince him for me? Me? Yes. Right now, he is able to go outside of Yoshiwara at will. But after he makes his debut and starts to take clients, he'll be confined only to Yoshiwara. However, if I pay for his freedom and he retires, he'll also be able to see you freely, you know? Freely. That means that Kagerou-san would be able to study and train, and he would be able to do so to his heart's content. Please, do this for his sake. Please, couldn't you do this? Xion-san strongly gripped her hands together and passionately appealed to my heart. What should I do? I understood her feelings. If there was anything that I could do, I wanted to help him obtain his freedom. Won't you do this for me? You do like Kagerou, don't you? Well, Am I wrong? I'm not that close to Kagerou-san. I see. I'm sorry to have asked this of you all of a sudden. No, it's okay. Shion-san dropped her shoulders in disappointment and walked away with slow, heavy steps. I didn't really understand. Perhaps what Shion-san was saying was true. But if it was, then why? Why wouldn't Kagerou-san hear Shion-san out? Without realizing it, I had been tightly gripping the pendant top that I picked up earlier. Kagerou-san. Chapter 4, Shion. The next day, on top of my palm, I was rolling the pendant accessory that I had picked up yesterday. Kagerou-san. The words that I heard from Shion-san yesterday echoed in my head. I have enough money to buy his freedom, and even though I've said this to him many times, he won't listen to me. To have one's freedom bought. For a gentleman of the night who is confined to Yoshiwara, I heard that it was more than a dream to have your freedom bought. Maybe I didn't know enough about the red light district, and it's really not that for them. There's also this pendant that I picked up yesterday. So should I go to see him? Should I go to Yoshiwara again? In the daytime, Yoshiwara was unexpectedly quiet and inactive. No, perhaps I'm wrong. It was because I know the true character of this city is one of lust and desire. I felt that way because I know the city's appearance at night. Kagerou-san. I unconsciously clutched my hand in front of my chest pocket where I had put the pendant. I wanted to ask him how he really felt. Just then, I found Kagerou-san walking down the main street while carrying his bag under his arm. Kagerou-san! Misao-san? What happened? I didn't expect you to come to Yoshiwara in the daytime. Even though I had wanted to see him, when I finally faced him, I was unable to ask him any of the things that I wanted to ask. So, are you coming back from school, Kagerou-san? No, today I have performance training. Training? What kind? A little bit of dancing and singing. Speaking of, I have yet to see Kagerou's performance skills, but I could easily imagine how a graceful boy would dance. Kagerou-san, you're dancing. It must be very beautiful. I'm like a baby who's just grown a bit of hair. I'm still just an amateur. There are plenty of gentlemen who are exceptional at dancing and singing. Tokiwa-san's dancing and singing skills are particularly amazing. Is Tokiwa the man with the blonde hair? That's right. I don't really like him, though. He praised him, but also didn't forget to speak harshly of him, too. When I saw this, a giggle slipped out of my mouth. How rude. Why are you laughing? Because that's just so you, Kagerou-san. Oh, by the way, I found this. I took the pendant accessory out of my chest pocket. I finally feel like the tense feelings between us have loosened up. This was dropped in front of my house yesterday. Doesn't it belong to you, Kagerou-san? I presented it to Kagerou-san, and as I did, the silver accessory reflected the sunlight and shined dimly. This can't be true, can it? Huh? I didn't expect you would find this. Kagerou-san clearly showed his happiness and held the accessory and my hands with his hands. The softness of his palms made me gasp for a moment. Thank you so much. I thought that I may have dropped it somewhere and had been looking for it all along. When I handed it to him, Kagerou-san directed his eyes fondly towards the small silver accessory. His glance was gentle. Even someone like Kagerou-san, it was hard to believe that he would have such a childlike look of joy on his face. Is it such a precious thing? Yes. I have held this with care ever since I was a child. Wait, I'll show you why right now. It made a small click sound. It seemed that it had a trick to it. When Kagerou-san handled it, the cover of the accessory opened. How rare! It was a Western gadget, and it was inside the accessory. Even at my shop, it was rare to see something like this. Can you see it? There's a small picture in here. After Kagerou-san told me this, I took a closer look. This is a little boy. Was it Kagerou-san when he was a child? There was also an old lady and a girl, but the picture was really worn from age, so I couldn't tell what they looked like. This is my mother and my older sister. We were separated when I was a little child. You wouldn't have known that if I didn't say that, because it is a very old picture. It's a picture of your family. So this little girl was Shion-san? He was thinking about his family. That's why he had such gentle eyes before. I compared Kagerou-san with the picture that had faded in different areas. I'm really glad to find it again. Kagerou-san closed the cover of the accessory, and then with great affection, he clutched the pendant accessory close to his chest. I didn't expect it to make you that happy. I can say thank you like a normal person, you know. His appearance, even when he was pouting a little, looked different from his usual self. I'd also like to thank you for yesterday, since I was able to talk to you about many things, Kagerou-san. Even though I made you carry my things, you just don't want to, do you? I do think it was a little too much for me, though. I had one more thing to show you. I took out the item that I had hidden away in my chest pocket. What's that? Kagerou-san took a look at the delicate silver shining chains that matched with the accessory. This is a token of my gratitude. This accessory, it's an imported pendant, isn't it? So I thought that you might not lose it anymore if you use this chain. This is for me? When I saw Kagerou-san's face, I couldn't believe what I just saw. Was he being shy? Thank you. Kagerou-san became speechless for a while. He looked very happy as he compared the accessory with the chain that he had just received. Definitely, he passed the chain through the accessory and wore it on his head. This seems to worry about losing anything. His eyes were filled with an unusually gentle light, the warmth that one feels when thinking of one's family. There was one side of this boy that I came to know for the first time. But also, I remembered what Shion-san said to me yesterday. A boy is born to be separated from his family. That is the fate that awaits him. The existence of a family. For Kagerou-san, that must be very important. So much so that it would make this cynical boy put a smile on his face. But if that's so, then why was he refusing an offer of freedom that would allow him to live with his family? Misao-san? Did something happen? Oh, huh? You've been quiet for a little while now. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just thinking about something. Shion-san asked me to convince him, but couldn't I at least ask him about the circumstances? Thinking about something? It's not polite to think about something else when you have someone in front of you. Yes. I just can't get it out of my head. Is it okay to ask him? I kept staring at Kagerou-san's face in the hope that I might be able to read his feelings. Are you still thinking about something? I was scared by his haughty glance, so I swallowed the words that were about to come out of my mouth. No, I'm not. In the end, I was unable to ask him anything and lost my chance to do so. Just then. But I feel bad that I'm the only one who received a token of gratitude. Don't worry about something like that. But it looks like I asked you to give me money and gifts. It would be better if I could also give you a token of my gratitude. But I don't know you very well, so I'm not sure what I should give you. Kagerou-san crossed his arms and started to think seriously. Then, please, talk to me like yesterday. Is that enough for you? Yes. Kagerou-san's black eyes twinkled as soon as he heard my response. Oh, yes. I thought of something that would be perfect. Why don't we go together to a fair at Inari Shrine next Sunday? Inari Shrine? You mean the one in Yoshiwara? Yes, that's right. So they have fairs in Yoshiwara, too? I didn't know that. It's kind of famous. You didn't know that? It's surprising just how sheltered you are. I just thought that it wasn't a place for me. It seemed that I would never get used to his sharp tongue, as this made me flinch. Please don't act so scared in front of me like that. Oh, yeah, you're right. Did he think I was a bothersome girl? I didn't know why he laughed at me, though. Either way, if you didn't know about it, then I think you'll enjoy it. Yes, thank you so much. But don't you have to go back to the shop at night? A fair in Yoshiwara is especially fun during the day. If it's daytime, I'm allowed to leave the shop too. You'll be able to see a Yoshiwara unlike the red light district that exists at night. Ah, but you don't even know Yoshiwara at night, do you? He chuckled and was clearly making fun of me. Stop it, it's still daytime. I can't help it, it's just so easy to tease you. Huh? Tease? I tried to question him, but Kagerou-san just smiled at me mischievously. Ah, I have to get back to the shop soon. Time just flew by while we stood here talking. I guess it's that time already. Well, I'll be off then. Please look forward to seeing me on Sunday. Yes, good luck at the shop. Yes. When he left, a smile came across the boy's face. I wanted to see more of that smile. I wanted to talk to him. While thinking so, I watched him run off towards Kikuya. Before I knew it, I found that I really enjoyed spending time with him. though in the end I was unable to ask him about Shion-san's offer to buy his food. From Kagerou-san's attitude, he was likely unaware that I had met Shion-san. It was almost like I had hid it from him, Kagerou-san. I watched as his back became smaller and smaller, and I felt a tingling pain in my chest as if entangled in a thicket of focus. Chapter 5. The Candy Apple. And on Sunday, the day that we promised to meet, have a nice day. My mother saw me off at the entrance, which was unusual for her. Since you're so dressed up like that, be careful not to come home too late. Okay, goodbye then. I left my house and walked towards Yoshiwara down the main street in the marketplace. I was taken aback to see my mother notice that I was dressed better than usual. Today was the day of the fair that we agreed to go to. Kagerou-san. Was I looking forward to this? Was I looking forward to what lies ahead and to spending time with a boy? My mother would have never imagined that I was going to see a man from Yoshiwara. But for Kagerou-san, such parental concern is but an old, distant memory. That's why he has such strong feelings for his family and Kagerou-san, who took care of him. While thinking this, I arrived at Inari Shrine, the place where we were to meet. As I looked for him, Misao-san! I found Kagerou-san under the red torii gate at the entrance. I'm sorry, were you waiting for me? Like I'm going to waste my time for you. I just got here. I ran towards Kagerou-san, who was pursing his lips. When I did, I saw something around Kagerou-san's feet. Was it a line from his studies? Numbers and what looked like foreign characters were drawn into the dirt. What is this? It's nothing. Kagerou-san used his feet to quickly erase the characters on the ground. Could it be that you were... Was he waiting for me for a while? Don't be nosy. I was just remembering a little of what I learned from my teacher yesterday. Oh. He should be more honest. When I looked at the color of the boy's cheeks, I chuckled a bit in my head. Well, let's go. Oh. He held out his white hand and softly grabbed my right hand. The boy's eyes looked at me with concern. Don't you like to hold hands? No, not at all. Let's go. I returned the fingers that I previously pulled back and then slowly held his hand over to him. The soft touch of his fingers made me feel like my heart was about to explode. And so it came to be that I walked hand in hand with Kagerou-san for the first time. I thought about it too much. Though I thought that, I held his hand again and again after my fingers slipped from his. Which stall should we go to first? Fairs in Yoshiwara are for the pleasure of customers coming to the entertainment district. There are a fairly large number of stalls for shows. That's amazing! The lively sounds of music echoed through the shrine grounds, and there were many rare stalls that I had never seen before. I saw gorgeously dressed men here and there. It was totally unlike the outside world. This world seemed like it was taken right out of a picture screen. Just looking at it all, it's hard to make a decision. Then I suddenly set my eyes on a stall selling bright red candy apples. Hey there, miss. How would you like one? I looked at Kagerou-san's profile as he stood next to me. Do you like candy apples? It's very fair-like, and they're cute. Yes, they are. Miss, can you give me a red one? All right, just one? Kagerou-san received the candy apple from the female stallkeeper and handed it to me. Here you go, Misao-san. For me? But won't you have one, Kagerou-san? I'm okay. I'm not very good with sweets. Thank you. I tried to eat the bright red candy apple, but he stared at me with his big eyes and made me feel embarrassed. What happened? Please don't look at me so much. I looked away from him and put my mouth on its jewel-like shining surface. While doing that, I could still feel Kagerou-san's eyes on my lips. It's very red. Huh? Your cheeks and lips are very red. It looks like you put rouge on them. He quickly extended his white finger and traced along my cheeks. And with the pad of his finger, he then traced my lower lip, which had just been in the candy apple. A moment ago. Kagerou-san? Your small tongue, too. I felt that the words that he was saying didn't match this straight-backed boy. I felt a bit of heat in my cheeks and lowered my head slightly. Why don't we take a look at some other stalls? I wanted to change the mood that was hanging over us there, so I pointed to a random stall. That's a store that sells cosmetics to the red light district. They have a stall? Yes, let's take a look. When we looked inside the stall, there was a lot of rouge-colored powders and hairpins. It was filled with various tools for the purpose of beautifully adorning gentlemen. What is this? It's beautiful. Interested by a shell that had an image of a ballroom flower painted on it, I picked it up. This is Fumochi Rouge. Go ahead and open the shell. After he said that, I opened the shell. Its inside was painted with an iridescent color and it shined dimly. If you place a wet brush to this colored part, it will make a beautiful crimson color. Its color is so golden though. I want to buy one for you. Is it okay? You don't wear any makeup at all, so it would be too sad if all you had was the rouge from that candy apple. Kagerou-san looked at my face and grinned at me. I sort of felt that he was making fun of me. If I wear this rouge, might this cynical boy offer me the slightest compliment and say I'm beautiful upon seeing me? Okay then, if you insist. I received the shell from the shopkeeper and carefully put it away in my chase bag. Tired from walking around, we sat down next to each other on the edge of the hall of worship. We looked around the shrine grounds, which were crowded with people. Yoshiwara fairs are amazing, and I had a great time together with Kagerou-san. You seem to have enjoyed yourself quite a lot. I'm glad. It's been a while since I've walked around a fair for this long a time. Kagerou-san also wasn't taking his usual standoffish attitude right now. This is my first time to come here with someone after having invited them. I'm glad that it's you. He said it was his first time. Those words spoken from his smiling mouth tickled my heart. If you invited them, Kagerou-san, then I think there are many people who would want to go with you. The only people around me are gentlemen of the night, and there are no women who would want to go with an apprentice like me. But after your debut, there will certainly be many women that will be captivated by you. Oh, I'm sorry. It's fine. As a gentleman of the night, it's something that I have to prepare for someday. What do you hope for in the future, Kagerou-san? Before, you said you want to continue studying, though. I don't know. My freedom may be restricted. I want to continue, but I don't want to think about the future now. Kagerou-san pulled the pendant from the other day out of his sleeve and rolled it on his palm. When I looked at him doing this, I remembered Shion-san's offer to buy his freedom. Perhaps, for a gentleman of the night, it's best to have your freedom bought and leave Yoshiwara, is it not? This is what I've been wanting to ask him for a long time. I quietly waited for Kagerou-san's answer. That's a little... When I saw him biting his lower lip, did it mean that he didn't think it was a good idea? I had some doubts. Is there another way to be free from Yoshiwara? I don't think there is. My only choice is to just wait until I pay back all my debt and have a proper retirement. Though, I guess it would be a different story if I became sick and had some physical problems. Oh no. So then having someone buy your freedom is the only way, isn't it? It is. But I think that there is someone more suitable for freedom than me. Someone more suitable? Who was he talking about? As long as he can't be free, I can't think about my own freedom. Kagerou-san. He avoided mentioning the name of the person in question. But was this the reason why he kept refusing Shion-san's offer? I'm sorry to have asked you something so strange like that. From now on, please think about your question first before you ask me. I haven't even made my debut, so it's too early to think about having my freedom bought. If I had time to think about that, then I need to focus more on studying and training. Yes. Anyway, please stop talking to me about such dreamlike things. It's unpleasant for me. If he's become this stubborn, then wouldn't it be impossible to convince him? Or rather, he might have been distressed all by himself for some time after hearing Shion-san's offer, thinking about that suitable person. I'm sorry, Kagerou-san. Before I knew it, I put my fingers over the fist that he was making on his knee. Misao-san, I've said too much. Today was supposed to be a fun day at the fair. Why don't we walk around to change the mood? When we left the shrine, the sun had started to set. I thought that we opened up to each other today, but as he walked ahead of me, Kagerou-san didn't speak to me since that last conversation. While walking in a gloomy mood, Kagerou-san stopped walking. Kagerou-san? Oh, Kagerou. I didn't expect you to be with this girl. Kagerou-san looked at us and smiled meaningfully. Chapter 6. Like a Real Brothers. You're that Misao-san who tried to choose Kagerou before, aren't you? Yes. Did you hang out together with Kagerou? When I took a quick glance at Kagerou-san, yes, I asked Misao-san to go to the fair in Inari Shrine together. We are on our way back to Kikuya now. Kagerou-san looked depressed before, but that same Kagerou-san was speaking so meekly. I see. Misao-san, how did you like going to the fair with Kagerou? He was very kind to me. I see. Please continue to be good to him from now on. Yes. Kagerou-san looked at Kagerou-san warmly, and Kagerou-san was acting more meekly than ever before. You guys look like real brothers. I've been taking care of Kagerou for a long time. So Kagerou-san, you were taking care of him? I didn't know that. Kagerou-san has been taking care of me since I was sold to Kikuya when I was little. And that's why he's close to me, like a real blood-related brother. Kagerou was a real handful at first, though. Kagerou-san was? I could see that they care for each other so much. But was it not like this from the beginning? Stop it. I was just a little boy at the time. I'm ashamed. Because you weren't honest with yourself. But he changed when he started to have interest in books I was reading, and I started teaching him. Yes, I was allowed to study and practice martial arts. Things weren't necessary for gentlemen. I don't know how to express my appreciation. You can express your gratitude by improving yourself. When I saw the way they looked at each other, I realized something. Even without being blood related, their bond was one that could only exist between real brothers. Someone more suitable than me. Kagerou-san must have continued to be distressed all by himself. Torn between Kagerou-san, who he yearned for as his real brother, and Shion-san. That's why he refused her offer to buy his freedom. You guys definitely look like real blood-related brothers. Misao-san. When I thought about the feelings of Kagerou-san, who was now looking shy, my heart also grew. But, well, suddenly Kagerou-san looked at me and Kagerou-san and sighed. You are almost ready for that, aren't you, Kagerou? I don't want to talk about it. What were they talking about? Kagerou-san was acting weird. Kagerou-san? Then Kagerou-san came in close to Kagerou-san. I'm still just an inexperienced novice. Please allow me to continue to study under you, Kagerou-san. In response to Kagerou-san's desperate begging, Kagerou-san looked at him in a calming manner. I think you are ready, aren't you? Kagerou-san's glance moved and instantly met mine. What is this? What is this meaningful glance that he's giving me now? Kagerou-san. Kagerou, don't become so disappointed in front of this beautiful lady. Yes. Then Kagerou-san looked back at me. Misao-san, I just received a cancellation from tonight's client. If it's all right with you, could the three of us have a banquet again like we did the other day? A banquet? Is that okay for you? But I don't have any money today. I put away the money that the young couple gave me in a shelf in my house, so I didn't bring it with me today. I'm the one who wants to have a banquet tonight, so you don't need to worry about money. Kagerou, you're okay with that, right? Yes, that's what Kagerou-san wants. Now is a good time too. We should go back to Kikuya. Before we knew it, we were heading towards Kikuya through the town with its lights already shining. The banquet began with the dancing of young gentlemen in time with the sounds of a shamisen. So, you got Komachi Rouge. That store also has good colored powders. I hear that Takao uses them too. Takao-san? The top gentleman of the night, Takao. Was he the man I met on that first day? The one wearing that gorgeous kimono? Though arrogant and prideful, true to the name, he is certainly the top gentleman in Kikuya. Excuse me. This is top quality sake that was delivered to the shop today. Kagerou-san didn't join our conversation and only devoted himself to supporting Kagerou-san. Kagerou, have you forgotten how to entertain a client? You should join our conversation so that she will enjoy herself more. Yes, then excuse me. Kagerou-san lowered his head and moved to the place next to me. But when you guys sit next to each other, it looks like a painting. Kagerou-san stared at me and Kagerou-san, sitting next to each other like he was appreciating her. He gently narrowed his eyes and had a gaze that was like a parent looking at his own child. Really? Maybe Kagerou-san looks like that, but I thought the same exact thing when I saw you before in the town of Yoshiwara. I thought you guys looked like a good match. Kagerou-san, what are you saying? Kagerou, this lady's cup is empty, isn't it? Yes. Kagerou-san poured sake from the bottle into my cup. His face was close to mine. It was close enough to touch shoulders. At this distance, Kagerou-san's words made me nervous. You chose Kagerou first. Could you tell me the reason why you did that? The reason? I could feel Kagerou-san looking at me. Was he nervous about my answer? I thought we're around the same age. That's what I honestly felt at the time. Certainly your age is close to his, so it would seem that he's easy to talk to. Well, I need to tell Iroha-san something, so I'm going to leave for a little while. Kagerou, take care of her well until I return. Yes. And so Kagerou-san stood up and left us together in the room. In the middle of the banquet, the young gentlemen were still dancing beautifully. But more than the dancing and singing, I'm sorry, Misao-san. Kagerou-san, just what was he thinking? He doesn't usually say those kind of things. I don't mind, so that was a lie. This boy was already the only thing on my mind. Well, would you like me to refresh your tray? How about trying this sake? When he tried to pass me another cup of sake, our fingers touched a little. It was just touching, but somehow, what happened? No, nothing. My heart started to beat faster and faster. Misao-san? The boy's not yet fully grown face looked into my face. This is troubling. If you're acting like that, then I don't know what to do. Kagerou-san. I just noticed his eyes had a color as deep as the night sky. I was staring at Kagerou-san. It felt like I was looking at someone that I had met for the first time. Chapter 7. I'm Still a Man. Your face is turning red. Kagerou-san used his fingers to slowly brush the hair hanging in front of my forehead to the side. I may be a little drunk. My face was surely redder than the person in front of me. While thinking that, the sliding door was opened. Oh, it looks like I've come at a bad time. Kagerou-san's glance caused us to look away from each other. Kagerou-san, if you're coming back in, please say something before opening the door. Oh? Just then, I need to talk to you, Kagerou-san. What is it? An attendant who was waiting on the other side of the door came close to Kagerou-san and whispered, It seems that the banquet will be over soon. I'm being called to another room, so excuse me. Kagerou-san left the room with the attendant. Well, I guess the banquet is over. The young gentlemen who were called to the banquet left, leaving just me and Kagerou-san together. It's already late. You can sleep here tonight. Huh? No, This is the red light district. Sleeping here means my body suddenly became stiff. I won't do anything to you, don't worry, because you are an important person for him. Kagerou-san guided me to the bedroom in a gentlemanly manner. I'm going to sleep in a different room tonight. You can use this for your sleepwear. I'll have someone put out another bed for you. Kagerou-san had some young boys skillfully prepare everything. Thank you so much. Well, I'm going to sleep now. No, could you wait a little for me? I actually really need to talk to you. Talk to me? What is it? It's about Kagerou. I think it's about time that he starts having his own clients. Huh? But Kagerou-san told me that he's still in the future. Actually, it's already late. I've been taking care of him a little too much. I've been worried about him because he's not honest with himself, but it seems that he's very friendly with you. Really? He's always saying harsh things to me. Don't worry. Though he would only open his heart to me, he did ask you to affair with him. That's never happened before. He likes you. Kagerou-san likes me? I thought he was always just making fun of me, though. Kagerou-san stared straight into my eyes, and then he nodded deeply. So please, could you be his first client? Me? I will talk to Iroha-san. At least for the first night, even if it's only temporary. I want you to teach him true love. Oh, no, This sudden proposal made the inside of my head go completely white. Of course, I will respect your wishes. I will not rush you to give an answer, but I would like you to think it over. Yes. But why are you asking me to do something like that? It's my sole wish as his non-blood related brother. For a gentleman of the night, love is something to be sold. Once he starts having clients, he will no longer be able to have it freely. After he spoke, Kagerou-san left the bedroom. Me and Kagerou-san. I couldn't help but think about it after I went to bed alone in the room. This room it's a room for that purpose. In front of my eyes, there was a gorgeous bed laid out for men and women to exchange intimacies. Will Kaguro-san and I also do this here? When I thought that, my heart beat painfully fast. Then I felt the presence of someone outside of the sliding door. Kaguro-san, it's me. May I come inside the room? Kaguro-san? While so surprised that I couldn't say anything, the sliding door was opened. Uh, huh? Misao-san? I'm sorry, you didn't say anything, so... Kaguro-san's face turned bright red all the way to his ears, and then he tried to leave the room. What's the meaning of this? Misao-san, you're alone in Kaguro-san's bedroom. Well, Kaguro-san said that I should sleep here because it's too late to go back. I lifted my upper body straight up from the bed, and Kaguro-san came into the room. Kaguro-san is going to stay in another bedroom. I see. Alright, good. For a moment, I thought, hey, don't surprise me like that. I didn't expect you to be alone in this room. Could it be? Did you mistakenly think that I was going to sleep with Kaguro-san? I thought it cute to see him upset like that, so I chuckled a little. Why are you laughing? Kaguro-san stopped talking and then came close to me. His eyes had that same color as the night sky looked into my face. Misao-san, do you think of me as a child or something? His sharp eyes were filled with a provoking sexiness that I had never seen before. No, I don't think of you like that. So then you think the opposite. I don't understand what you mean. The boy in front of me knitted his eyebrows distressfully. I'm still a man. And right at that moment, I was pushed over by Kaguro-san's arms. Kaguro-san? My view was blocked by Kaguro-san's body. The boy's beautiful face that lay before my eyes came close to me. Then he put more strength into his fingers that pushed my arms. Don't underestimate me as a child. Even I can sleep with you. As if being licked by his eyes, Kaguro-san's glance slipped down from my face to my body. Like this. His knees parted my legs and hiked up the bottom of my sleepwear. His hot breath tickled my lips. Like other gentlemen, I can use my skills to make women crazy and spend a lot on me. But under his black hair, both his eyes were shaking nervously. Was it from his uncontrollable passion? Or was this a painful quiver? Stop it! I was scared. But his sad face, this place, I will get out of this place on my own power and not by having my freedom bought or anything else. When I heard him speak in this low voice that I've never heard before. I was forcibly robbed of my first kiss. No! I struggled to free myself from under Kaguro-san's body. I heard a dull sound as my elbow came into his thin body. Ouch! How unladylike. Now, be a good girl. No, stop, please, stop. No matter how much I squirmed, it was no match for the strength of the boy's arms. So my body was quickly pushed down to the bed. You readily went to a fair after being invited by a man from Yoshiwara. You like me, don't you? No, stop it. I'm scared. Shut up. Kaguro-san always tried to push me away. If that's how it is, then I'll do what he wants me to. It's not like that. Just then. Knock it off. What the hell is going on? The door was opened loudly and Takao came into the room with a furious, demon-like look on his face. Takao-san? Well, what's with all the noise? Takao-san looked around the room and then wrinkled his nose. This is between a gentleman and his client, so mind your own business. What's that? Don't try to show off when you can't even properly sleep with women. You were making such a racket that you scared my client and ruined our night. Kaguro-san released my body and looked at Takao-san with a scowl on his face. What is all this noise? Just then, Kaguro-san rushed into the room looking pale-faced. Kagura, just how have you been educating this boy? It was so noisy that I came over here. And when I did, instead of the room's owner, I see this immature brat trying to show off. Kagerou, what are you doing? I don't want to say. And what about you, miss? Kagura-san moved his glance from Kagerou-san to me. I hid my eyes that started to well up with tears and just tried to fix my ruffled sleepwear. I'm sorry, Takao. You can blame me for all this. Sakura-san looked back at Takao-san and bowed. Did you accept my apology and forgive him? You're apologizing, are you? Alright. But I'm going to tell Iroha. It's a rule in Yoshiwara that you get punished when you make trouble like this. Alright, I guess there's nothing that can be done. Takao-san smoked his pipe and left the room in a seemingly uncomfortable manner. This isn't like you. Why did you make such trouble? The boy just hung his head in shame. The whole time, I was rubbing the corners of my eyes, which had become red. After a while, Iroha-san caught wind of what happened and came to the room with a number of gentlemen. You caused trouble with a client before your debut and caused Takao's good client discomfort. It appears that you need to reflect on your bad behavior. You, over there, take Kagerou to that room. Yes, sir. Kagerou-san had his hands bound behind him by the gentleman who came with Iroha-san. His eyes were robbed of their strength and looked dead. Though the fear that I felt before still remained with me. Kagerou-san! Kagerou-san looked at me for a brief moment, but he quickly brought his face down. With his head hanging down, I couldn't tell what his expression was. And like that, Kagerou-san was taken away from in front of me. Chapter 8. In Retribution. I leaned on the wall of my room and thought about yesterday. Kagerou-san. I touched my lips softly. I let him kiss me. Why did he do something like that? Did I really hate it? Or... In the end, far from persuading him, I couldn't even bring up Shion-san's offer. And on top of that, at least for the first night, even if it's only temporary, I want you to teach him true love. The first night. I shook my head to stop looking back on what happened. More than that, I was worried about Kagerou-san now. Was he okay? Could he be hungry now? I can't sit still. I brought myself to the kitchen and made rice balls. And then I decided to go to Kikuya. I went into the shop, but it seemed that there was no one inside. Excuse me? Is there anyone here? When I raised my voice, I heard footsteps coming from the back of the shop. Oh, if it isn't Misao-san. What can I do for you? Iroha-san's bottomless eyes observed me. I can't deal with his glance. What happened to Kagerou-san? I don't mind if I only see his face. Can't I see him? Miss, I understand your feelings, but problems that happen in this shop are dealt with by the shop, so clients don't need to worry about it. Then can you at least give this to him? I tried to hand him my rice balls that were covered with bamboo leaves, but I can't accept this. Please bring them back with you. They were politely pushed back to me by Iroha-san's right hand. But I'm also responsible for Kagerou-san's actions. Please don't make me say it again. Kagerou is being punished now, so please go back now. Yes. He sent me away from the shop without even listening to me. Kagerou-san. I couldn't even see him. I walked down the street, which was tinged with a reddish hue from the sunset, and I stopped walking once I came in front of a Nari shrine. When we came here yesterday, Kagerou-san and I were both smiling, but that felt like it was long ago. Kagerou-san. Though the gentlemen of Yoshiwara looked very gorgeous on the outside, I heard that they were bound by strict rules and a harsh reality. From the way that Iroha-san was acting, did it mean that Kagerou-san was now being treated very badly? If only I hadn't refused him. Then it wouldn't be like this. I offered the rice balls that were made in waste to the shrine. I put my hands together and closed my eyes to pray. Dear God, please, let Kagerou-san be safe. As I continued to pray like that, Hey you, aren't you that lady from yesterday? You're devoted. Are you here praying to God for Kagerou's safety? Takao-san. I looked back while crouched down. When I did, the top gentleman was looking down upon me while smoking a pipe. His arrogant smile reminded me of yesterday. Without a second thought, I put myself on guard. You don't need to put up your guard like that. I didn't come here to reproach you. Just seeing you desperately praying to God as I happened to walk by made me want to talk to you. You're not mad at me? Don't belittle me. I'm not such a narrow-minded man, you know. By the way, what's that you got there? Takao-san used the end of his pipe to point to the rice balls that I had just offered to the shrine. I was trying to bring some rice balls to Kagerou-san, but Aroha-san sent me away at the entrance of the shop. So you're offering them to Inari Shrine instead? Yes. I at least want to pray for Kagerou-san's safety. I put my hands together in front of my chest and closed my eyes again before the shrine. That Kagerou. Despite being a brat, he still got a good woman. Takao-san blew smoke from his pipe and sniffed his nose. Alright, come with me, girl. Takao-san? Don't forget those rice balls. As soon as he said so, Takao-san turned his body around and started walking briskly. Yes! I then picked up the rice balls and quickly ran after him. Takao-san stuffed me into the shop through Kikuya's back door, and he opened a door that was located deep inside the shop. Be careful, it's dark inside. Okay. As I strained my eyes in the dimly lit room, from the corner of my eyes I saw a dark shadow moving. Who is that? Kagerou-san was sitting on the floor, and he was hanging his head down with his arms tied behind his back. Kagerou-san! I ran over to the boy and got on my knees. How painful. I can't believe they did this to you. Please leave. Kagerou-san turned his face away from me. He stubbornly wouldn't look at me. Why? I extended my hand to Kagerou-san's cheek. I gently stroked his slightly emaciated cheeks. But Kagerou-san wouldn't reply to me, and he glanced fiercely at Takao-san, who was behind me. Can't you be a little honest with yourself? That's why people look down on you for being childish. Takao-san became fed up and let out a big yawn. I'm gonna clear out soon. Oh, wait, thank you so much. But why did you tell me where Kagerou-san was? Well, of course I couldn't let your rice balls go to waste, could I? He used his chin to point to the rice balls that I was holding. Takao-san's bored eyes shined for just a moment, and then he left the room. Rice balls? After confirming that Takao-san had left the room, Kagerou-san spoke out with a weakened voice. Yes, I was worried that you weren't being fed. I opened the bamboo leaf wrapping and showed the white rice balls to Kagerou-san. Misao-san, you were worried about me? Yes. When I looked into his face, he tried to look tough and turned away. You didn't need to worry about me. Please go back. Don't say something like that. The rumbling sound of the boy's stomach echoed throughout the quiet room. Kagerou-san, just as I thought, you're hungry, aren't you? I guess it can't be helped. Since you went ahead and made these for me, I'll take them. I'll eat these later, so just leave them there. How can you eat with your hands tied like that? I'll figure something out. I cut the rice balls in my hand into small pieces, and then I brought them to Kagerou-san's mouth. Didn't you hear me? Please eat, otherwise you'll become ill, won't you? I smiled at him. When I did, he made a wry face and then reluctantly opened his mouth. He chewed it slowly and then swallowed it down his throat with a gulping sound. Ah, delicious. He inadvertently said that in a small voice. Never mind that. Okay. I said nothing and brought rice ball pieces to his mouth with the speed of his eating, and the boy ate it all quietly each time that I fed him. We passed the time in silence. Then the boy finally looked at me firmly. I'm sorry for before. I'm sorry to have said such things. The truth is that I haven't eaten anything for almost a whole day. What? Wasn't it tough for you? Confined to a place like this? When I looked at him closely, his usual wrinkle-free clothes were terribly roughed up. His handsome face also displayed his weariness. Oh, you have a grain of rice on the corner of your mouth. Huh? Where is it? Right there. I removed the grain of rice from the corner of his mouth and brought it to his mouth, and the boy licked it off the pad of my finger with his small tongue. Sorry. It's a little salty. Kagerou-san finally started to return to his normal self, and he smiled cynically at me. I'm sorry. I cried a little when I was making them, so I couldn't recognize its taste. I made you worried. No, Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself. I'm know myself, so I'm fine. But you're a little careless, so I do worry about you. But thank you, Misao-san. He said so with a very small voice that I almost couldn't hear, but it still securely reached my ears. Chapter 9. I Like You. More than that, Why did you do something so risky? Did I do something that I shouldn't have done? Just as I thought. You don't understand anything. You must be a little soft in the head, right? What would you do if someone saw you in a place like this? No matter how much of a good client you are, if they find you here, you won't get away with it. There was no room for me to think that far into it. Really. Even if you're a sheltered princess. In Yoshiwara, the rules of the outside world don't apply. Kagerou-san. Though his words were severe, a pure kindness was overflowing from the depths of his eyes. Did this person really care about me so much? I knew Yoshiwara was a scary place, but my feelings of worry for you, Kagerou-san, were stronger than that. And the truth is that I'm not a good client or anything of the like. Misao-san, what are you trying to say? If anyone, I had to tell this person. I had to tell him the truth. I made up my mind and received Kagerou-san's glance straight on. Kagerou-san's eyes looked like the surface of a serene lake. I didn't want to tell lies in front of him anymore. But how should I tell him? I'm sorry for keeping it a secret until now. Were you hiding something from me? Yes. I am just a merchant's daughter. I already knew that. I actually saw your store. But I heard that your business is going well and your father is a famous merchant, isn't he? It's not true. Our business is doing well enough to get by without any luxuries. The person that Aroha-san mistook for my father is just an older man who does business with us. I'm not rich or anything. Also, the money for the banquet on that first day here, I happened to receive it from a young couple out of gratitude for helping them escape. Was he disgusted by me? With this fear in my mind, I looked at Kagerou-san's face. Is that all? That's nothing. I feel relieved. Relieved? Was I imagining what I heard just now? Relieved? Why is that? I already felt something strange about it before. For an upstart merchant, you weren't the least bit immodest, and you don't really hear much about your famous father. So you noticed it before? No, I wasn't certain. In any case, could you untie this rope? It's finally starting to make me feel numb. Is that okay? I'll retie it myself later. Okay. I went around to Kagerou-san's back and began to untie the rope binding his arms together. I want to tell you something too. Please don't say anything and just listen to me. Yes. However, the rope was tied tightly, so it wasn't easy to untie. As I frantically focused on my fingers to untie the rope, Misao-san, I like you. I questioned him back in response to those unexpected words. I finally undid the rope's knot and Kagerou-san moved his wrist. Then he looked at my stunned face. I said I like you. Didn't you hear me? I didn't understand the meaning of this. What was he saying all of a sudden? Was he serious? Could you say that once again? Stop it. I didn't want you to see my face, so I had you behind me. The boy held his knees and he looked around nervously. This is the first time that I have had these feelings, so I didn't know what to do. Kagerou-san. When I called his name, Kagerou-san came close to me. He put his hands that had painful-looking rope marks over my hands. But it's not because you're rich. It's because you always talk to me with honest feelings. His quietly clear yet melancholy eyes that were the color of the night sky captured my heart. But I have to be a gentleman of the night. So if I said that I like you or whatever, and then tried to get close to a rich girl like you wouldn't like it. I told you before, but I don't think that I want to have by my feelings. Why is that? I want to live on my own. That's the purpose of my studies and martial arts training. That I work really hard. His fingertips just touched me before, held my hands. I thought his fingers were just skinny before, but they were actually the strong and firm fingers of a man. Rather than be supported, I want to support the person I like. I want to be recognized as a real man who can support you. Kagerou-san. I held Kagerou-san's hand back and nodded. That's why he was so sensitive about having his freedom. Wavering between Shion-san's offer and Kagerou-san, he probably felt irritated with himself since he still had no power. Misao-san. Thank you for talking to me about it. When the boy opened up to me and talked about his feelings like he never did before, I noticed a faint warmth that softly covered my hand. It was the warmth of love. Could I have fallen in love with him? Misao-san. The boy extended his arms, and he held my body into his still growing chest. but Kagerou-san's fingers were shaky, and his eyes that reflected my appearance were blinking nonstop. I will certainly have to take on clients as a gentleman in a few days, but I like you. You're the one that I want to sleep with, if I'm allowed to do as I please. I want you to be my first. The clear voice that reached my ears was so pure that my heart leaped. Me too. I like you, Kagerou-san. It wasn't a lie. It was the first time that I felt like this. I didn't expect to hear those words from your mouth. We stared at each other's faces. A paper-frame lamp shined light on us. Kagerou-san's eyes wavered in a way befitting to his name, which is heat haze in Japanese. Kagerou-san. Misao? He called me by my name without the sound, which sounded unfamiliar to me. It sounded like something between us was breaking away. From now on, our world would be a world that Kagerou-san and I had never seen before. But I wasn't scared. I wanted to be as one with him. He held me close to him and brought his innocent lips close to mine. And then his lips laid on top of mine. It was a very gentle kiss. His thin lips were soft, and they quivered so much that they tickled me. But it was like an invitation to go to a hotter and deeper place. I surrendered everything to him just as he wanted. Shion-san and Kagerou-san's words still remained somewhere in the back of my mind. But at that moment, our hearts were tied together for the first time, and I swore to give everything for this person. And the day after this kiss, I knew Kagerou-san's debut was going to be 3 days later. Chapter 10. The day of his debut. On this day, the full moon shined dimly in the night sky, but in the town of Yoshiwara, no one cared about the workings of nature. They lit the flame of love and lust to create another world befitting of its name. Ah, finally, the day has come. Tonight is a special day. It's the day that Kagerou-san makes his debut. While holding on to indescribable feelings, I headed to Kikuya. Welcome, Misao-san. I've been waiting for you. I entered the shop through the entrance, and Aroha-san welcomed me in a very good mood. It seemed that he's already accepted it. Just then, the sound of footsteps coming down the stairs rang out. Misao-san, thank you for coming. Kagerou-san, please, take good care of him. I didn't know how to answer, but yes. I will now guide you to the parlor room. And so I was brought to the parlor room. But since earlier, my pounding heartbeat just wouldn't stop. I tried to make myself look prettier than normal, but I wonder how Kagerou-san looks tonight. As I thought about that, Miss, Kagerou has just arrived now. With the attendant's announcement, the sliding door was opened. It is I, Kagerou. Kagerou-san sat on the floor and bowed deeply with 3 fingers on each hand placed before him. Seeing him like that instantly took my breath away. How beautiful! The gown was made from high-quality white silk and had camellias painted on it. It matched perfectly, with his beauty and grace from which you could even feel Kagerou-san's sharpness. What happened, Misao? His shapely lips called my name. I'm sorry. I just forgot my words. Haven't we already met so many times? For the first time, I saw his exposed chest. It was so white it gave me chills. And though my cheeks were becoming hot, I couldn't even look away from him. Are you falling in love with me again? Yes. It's like I just met you for the first time. I stared at Kagerou-san with stars in my eyes. You say such cute things sometimes. Well, let's enjoy ourselves. Tonight is the first night for just you and me. Yes. I looked at his softly narrowed eyes and thought they were breathtaking. Certainly, at this moment, I may have fallen in love with him again. The banquet proceeded in a somewhat quiet fashion. It probably felt like that because of Kagerou-san, who was right next to me. There was no dancing, singing, or music. None of those sounds came to my ears. Misao. I still wasn't used to it. Whenever he called my name without the sound, my heart pounded so fast that it felt like it was about to jump out of my chest. Suddenly, Kagerou-san brought his thin shoulders close to me. Kagerou-san? May I hold your hand? Go ahead. His long fingers that I could see from his sleeve covered my hand. You look like you're experiencing everything for the first time today. But I also feel the same way. I couldn't really understand what he was trying to say, so I looked into Kagerou-san's face. When I peered into his face, the depths of his night sky-colored eyes looked moist. His fingers tightly entwined themselves with my fingers. I could feel him shaking from the place where we were connected, and I knew that we were both nervous. I don't know whether to be scared or happy that this day has come. Suddenly his lips came close to my eyes. When his tense, small voice slipped from his lips, I remember the feeling of our kiss from a few days ago. Miso, I want to be together with you, just two of us, as soon as possible. Just the two of us. Soon. Sooner. Banquet finally came to an end. After everyone left, Kagerou-san pulled my hand into the room. Shall we go to the bedroom? Then he opened the sliding door that continued through to an inner chamber. In the bedroom, incense was being burned. An indescribably sweet-smelling air filled the room, and in the presence of the freshly made bed in front of the gilded folding screen, I tightly held Kagerou-san's hand. And then, I've been wanting to see you for a long time now. Along with his thin voice that seemed forced from his lips, he held me passionately. Kagerou-san, Miso, for the past few days, I've only been thinking of you. Even at the banquet we just held, I was fretting over how to suppress my feelings. I'm strange, right? But I don't hate it. Kagerou-san shrugged his shoulders in embarrassment. No, you're not strange at all. I also feel the same way. All I could do was stare at him. I've waited impatiently for the time that we could be alone together. So I wasn't the only one. With his deepened embrace, a gentle feeling came inside of me. I was loved by this person. It was a joy that I've never felt before. Miso. Suddenly his eyes emitted a serious flash of light. Are you sure that you won't regret this? If you go forward with this, I will take something important from you. I will never regret it. But I'm a gentleman of the night. Even though I will leave by my own power someday, I may hurt your feelings before that day comes. Are you okay with that? I won't say it again. I won't think about the future now. I just want to be with Kagerou-san. I quietly closed my eyes. My lips were then covered with a soft feeling. This was the third kiss that we exchanged. Miso. When I opened my eyes, the person that I loved was right before my eyes. His fingers smoothly extended toward the buttons at my chest, and one by one, he unfastened my buttons. He moved his hands in a respectfully polite manner, and just as I thought that the boy's fingers had touched my exposed, soft skin, in that very moment, my body was laid down on the bed. Plunk! Something rolled out of my pocket and fell to the floor. This is from the fair. Kagerou-san picked up the Komachi Rouge shell. You brought this with you? Today is your first night, Kagerou-san, so I wanted to be more beautiful than usual, at least for tonight. But I couldn't get the color very well. Embarrassed, I looked away from the boy. I noticed. For someone like you who never wears makeup to try to entice me by putting rouge on your lips, it makes me happy. Kagerou-san. Kagerou-san's eyes blinked alluringly. I will apply the rouge for you. Kagerou-san quickly licked his pinky with his red tongue and mixed the gold color on the edge of the shell. In the area that he touched with his finger, a vivid red color slowly started to form. His bright red, guide finger then softly touched my lips. I'm hot. I feel hot. My fingers, my face, and inside of my chest, on my lips that he had just kissed earlier, his pinky slowly applied the rouge. You're shaking. Stay like that and don't close your mouth. From the corners of my mouth to its plump center, his pinky touched my lips as if it were caressing them. These lips of yours, in your heart, tonight they will all become mine. Please give me your everything. As I looked into his passion-filled eyes, my nether regions quickly became yes, Kagerou-san. Tonight I will become yours. As we kissed, my red-colored lips became hot and wet, and with his unsteady caressing, my body opened up and I experienced the pain of losing one's virginity. In the precious arms of the person that I loved. Tweet, 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 tweet. I could faintly hear the sounds of the birds singing from outside. Before I knew it, I was waking up from my slumber, in Kagero-san's arms, with that silky feel of his skin against mine. I wish that I could stay like this for a while. It's a nice feeling, to wake up with you in my arms like this. With a happy smile on his face, the boy combed my hair with his hand. Me too. As he stared at me, my memory of last night became clear in my mind. I felt embarrassed, but I was so happy. Maybe it's because I felt relieved to be with you, but I had a dream where I remembered something from my far past. A dream? The nostalgic look in his eyes, Kagero-san whispered in my ear. Yes, I remembered my family from a long time ago. Can I tell you about it? Yes. To be honest, I had always hated my father. He was just a good-looking drunk. My mother was a woman who devoted herself to my family, but she didn't have the confidence to hold down the man that she had, so she couldn't say anything to him no matter what he did. He looked away from me and sighed in a self-deprecating way. I was sold to the district when I was little, so that's all I can remember of my parents. Kagero-san. My sister was married to a foreigner after he was captivated by her beauty. My father and sister were nothing but looks. I've always been complimented on my appearance. That actually turns me on. Kagero-san, aren't you also knowledgeable in scholarly pursuits and martial arts? Yes, I don't want to become a person who has nothing but looks, so I've been trying to work harder to be better than anyone else in my studies and skills. Maybe that's the reason. When I saw Kagero-san training himself, even though he was sold to this kind of place, I admired him. I wished that I could be like him. His expression turned to a look of admiration for the person he admired, which touched my heart. When I have someone that I love in the future, I want her to see my heart. Kagero-san. That's why you like Kagero-san so much. I want to learn about a lot of things under his tutelage, but he told me that I need to leave the nest. I was an inconvenience for him, wasn't I? No, that's not true. Kagero-san asked me to take good care of you many times, Kagero-san. Kagero-san opened his eyes wide as if he couldn't believe what I had just said. Kagero-san said such things? Jeez, what's his deal? Why didn't he tell me that honestly? He's terrible at handling these things. But aren't you the same, Kagerou-san? Why? When have I done something like that? But you're always teasing me, Kagerou-san. You always said harsh things to me. Really? I guess love is a difficult thing. The more I love you, the more confused I get. I've learned that for the first time after meeting you. Is that so? Was he saying that all those harsh words he said up until now were a sign of his love? It is, really. Before I met you, I felt okay as long as I could study and practice martial arts. I never thought that I would want love. As he stared at me, Kagerou-san beamed with a mischievous look in his eyes. Hey, Misao, I want you to kiss me. Kagerou-san? Because I love you. Because I want you. His incredibly gentle glance enveloped me. So if you love me, please kiss me. Should I kiss him? So please close your eyes. No. If I did that, then I wouldn't be able to see your red face. Though his mind was straight like a sword, he was unable to express his feelings honestly. Hurry up and do it. Yes. As the boy smiled, I softly pressed my lips to his cheek. It tickles. You can do it to my lips too. I'll do that next time. When I saw him raise his voice in laughter, I felt it again. I was in love with him. I loved him uncontrollably. We fully enjoyed our post-coital moments. Then we made ourselves presentable and left the bedroom. I will see you off at the gate today. You don't need to do that. It's enough for you to just take me to the entrance of the shop. Kagerou-san, who was pulling my hand, looked back at me. That's what I want to do. I want to spend as much time with you as possible. And so, as we headed towards the entrance, Kagerou-san came to us from down the hallway with a distressed look on his face. Oh, Kagerou-san, good morning. Kagerou! Kagerou-san briefly greeted us and lowered his head in front of me. I'm sorry for giving you a hard time, Misao. What? What do you mean? Just then, I could hear the sound of many people running. A bunch of women were racing towards us from the direction that Kagerou-san came from. Who are they? I'll be Kagerou's second client. No, I'll be the one. I've had my eyes on him since he was a young boy. Chapter 11. The High Fever. Who are these women? Hey, Kagerou, you're free tonight, aren't you? I already said that I'm going to be his second client. Do you even know how much I've spent on Kagerou so far? The women kept fighting over Kagerou-san, but for some reason I heard their fight as if it were happening in a far-off world. My client from last night is still here. You don't mind if we have a little chat, do you? Kagerou, please let me buy you tonight. He was going to be bought with money, by a woman other than myself. Kagerou-san was going to be bought. My head went completely white. That's right, he made his debut. Which means that, like it or not, he has to start working as a gentleman of the night from now on. This person would be going to a place that's beyond my reach. I had already decided that I wouldn't regret anything no matter what happened, but I didn't even try to think about such simple consequences. Misao? My view went completely white. Misao! Misao! Kagerou-san? I don't know what's happening. I feel like my consciousness is slipping away. Then I fainted. Where am I? When I woke up, I found myself lying down in an unfamiliar room. My body felt terribly fatigued, and my consciousness was still not very clear. What's this warm feeling in my right hand? Next to me was Kagerou-san, who was asleep while covering my hand with both of his hands. Kagerou-san? When I lifted my upper body, a wet towel fell off of my forehead. Misao? Did you wake up? What am I doing in a place like this? Don't you remember? You suddenly collapsed in the hallway of the shop. Oh. My memory slowly started to come back to me. That's right. I lost consciousness while listening to those women argue. Have you been taking care of me the whole time since then? There's no way I could do that. I just stopped by to check up on you. But when I took a closer look at his face, he had circles under his eyes. Your towel. It's become quite warm. I will change your water now. Kagerou-san took the bucket and towel near my pillow into his hands and left the room. Perhaps I was so shaken that I collapsed, though it was something that I already knew. The sliding door was quickly opened and Kagerou-san came back into the room. I will change your towel now. Kagerou-san wrung the towel he wet with the cold water and then carefully put it on my forehead. It felt cool. What happened after that? You collapsed yesterday morning, and you slept all day until now. You had a high fever and we couldn't move you, so we brought you here temporarily. So that's what happened. When I looked around, I saw that I was in a very plain and simple room. Its impression was very different from the rooms that I saw in Kikuya before. This room is a spare room where the shop assistants can sleep for the night. I was worried because you were groaning in your sleep the whole time. I'm sorry for causing you trouble. I'll be going back soon, so... When I tried to lift my body out of the bed, don't push yourself. Your temperature still hasn't come down. Kagerou-san embraced my shoulders and quietly put me back to bed. And I'm the one who needs to apologize. Kagerou-san? I knew that I would hurt you like this, but I still fell in love with you. He held my hands to show that he was truly sorry from the bottom of his heart. But I'm the one who didn't do enough. Surely, I should have been ready for this. I didn't understand at all what it really meant to love a gentleman of the night. Please rest here for a while until your temperature goes down. I will inform your family about what happened. Okay. Please don't push yourself too much. His kindness was actually painful for me. It pained me to make such a kind person worry. I'm sorry. I continued to breathe slowly. The graceful touch of my hand was once covered by Kagerou-san's hands. That was the only thing that could bring me relief. As I closed my feverish eyelids, I then fell back to sleep. The next day, I woke up, but my temperature still didn't go down. Rather, I felt like my fever was worse than yesterday. Is there no one here? With my joints in pain, I crawled with my body to look outside through the gap in the sliding door. Misao, what are you doing? Lie down and stay in bed. Oh, Kagerou-san. Kagerou-san found me like this as he came into the room. I'm sorry. I thought that there wasn't anyone here. No, I'm sorry for that. It's because I left the room. Kagerou-san rushed towards me and immediately carried me to the bed. You smell good. It's because I was out in the back garden picking flowers. A small purple flower was blooming in Kagerou-san's hand. It was a cute flower whose name I did not know. This room is pretty dreary, so please look at this flower and get well soon. I extended my hand to the single flower that he put in front of me. It's a beautiful flower. Thank you. It's nothing, as long as you smile and get a little better. Kagerou then used his fingers to tidy up my bangs that had become ruffled while I was sleeping. But, Kagerou-san, are you okay to stay with me all this time? You must have your job and training to do. Work. When I said that, I felt a sharp pain deep in my chest. He was a person of the red light district. If paid a great deal of money, he would have to sell one night of love to a woman. He was no longer someone who existed only for me. If you mean my night services, I refused all of them. Don't worry. Kagerou-san? I felt relieved to hear him say that. Was it selfish of me? But, is it okay for you to do that? Won't this extend the time until your retirement? I don't mind if it takes a little longer than normal. I'm much more worried about your health. How do you feel now? I feel worse than yesterday. That worries me. Excuse me for a moment. Kagerou-san lifted my bangs and then... He put his entire forehead over mine. Kagerou-san's face was so close to me that I could feel his breath. A-bump, a-bump, a-bump. My heart was beating so quickly that I wondered if it might stop after this. My consciousness remained in a feverish haze. I was in this state for such a long time that it felt like an eternity. You still seem to have a high fever. Kagerou-san quickly drew his head back. I don't know why, but I sighed. I'll talk to a doctor who takes care of the people in Kikuya. Well, I've been called by Iroha-san, so I'm going to leave for a bit. Please rest well. Yes. After Kagerou-san left the room, I stared at the flower that he gave me. The flower stem stretched straight out, but the flower that bloomed at its end calmly cast its head down. Its not too assertive yet imperious appearance reminded me of Kagerou-san. He's a kind person. But even after a few days in that state, instead of getting better, my health actually got worse. Ugh. I almost dropped the spoon that was in my hand. Are you okay? Kagerou-san put away the tray that was at my knees. Then he rushed to rub my back. I'm sorry. You went through the trouble of bringing me rice porridge. Don't worry about it. But you have to at least eat a little to regain your strength. On top of the tray that was put to the side, there was medicine wrapped up in paper. I received a fever reduction pill from the doctor, so you need to eat to take this medicine. I'm sorry. My body hurts. I didn't want to worry him, but my exhausted body wouldn't listen to me. Give me your spoon. I'll cool it down a little. He took the spoon from my hand and then scooped up a spoonful of rice porridge. Kagerou-san blew on it to cool it down. Misao, will you open your mouth? He brought one hand near my mouth while also bringing the spoon to my mouth. White rice porridge passed slowly down my throat. That's right, it's okay to take a little at a time. After that, Kagerou-san brought the spoon to my mouth to match the pace of my eating. Ugh. Don't push yourself. When I choked a little, he rubbed my back for me. He diligently took care of me. Thanks to him, I ate about 20% of the rice porridge. The only thing left now is the medicine. A bit difficult to swallow, but please be patient. Then Kagerou-san put the pill and a gulp of water from a teacup into his mouth. Then he brought his face close to mine. Kagerou-san? I obediently accepted his kiss. Cold water flowed into my throat from his lips. He then pushed the pill into my mouth with his tongue. Perhaps it was because of the fever? The water going down my throat should have been cold, but it was hot. Something soft and warm entwined itself with my tongue and the pill. Was he just trying to make me take the pill? Or, because it was hard to breathe, I let out a gasp and then swallowed the pill. My lips were then released and I sighed. I can't see him directly. You did a good job swallowing it. I hope it makes your temperature go down. Kagerou-san's eyes were genuinely concerned with me. After that, he laid my body down and combed my hair many times. Kagerou-san. Thank you. Unable to form the words that I wanted to say to him, I fell into an unconsciousness slumber. Chapter 12. The Happiness. 2 days later. Since he couldn't just watch me grow weaker with each passing day, Kagero-san asked the doctor to come and see me, but if the pill that I gave you before won't work, all we can do is see how things will go from here. Is that it? In any case, she should get plenty of rest. Take care. I heard the sound of the sliding door closing. Did the doctor go back? Misao. Kagero-san sat down beside me and held my hand. Kagero-san. I tried to hold my hazy consciousness and looked up at Kagerou-san. Because he had been foregoing sleep to take care of me, his eyes were sunken in and he looked very weary. Please, don't make such a sad face. I tried to hold his hand back, but I didn't have the strength, and all I could do was weakly grab his fingers. Misao. Kagerou-san then gently covered my fingers with his hand. Misao, I'll definitely find a way to make you feel better. What was he thinking about? When I closed my eyes, Kagerou-san quietly left the room. Then, a few days later, I brought a Western doctor with me. I'm coming in. Misao, you'll surely get better now. My body was hot. While barely conscious, I heard the sound of the sliding door being opened. It was Kagerou-san and Kagerou-san, and some other people. I have something to do, so I'm going back to my room, but let me know if you need something. Thank you. Misao-san, are you okay? This is worse than I thought. Shion-san? When I looked up with my blurred vision, I saw Shion-san and an unfamiliar foreign doctor looking at me. Why was Shion-san here? I then recalled the memory. That's right. Her offer to buy his freedom. I couldn't persuade him in the end. But for Kagerou-san and Shion-san to meet again. Misao? Misao, do you already know my sister? Kagerou. I spoke with Misao about buying your freedom. I asked her to help me persuade you. Sister, did you do that without saying anything to me? Kagerou-san glared at Shion-san with a bitter look on his face, but more than that, she needs to be seen by the doctor first. Doctor, please help Misao. Kagerou-san desperately bowed to the foreign doctor. Was this the Kagerou-san that I know? I didn't expect to see him doing such things. I will take responsibility and examine her, so everything will be fine. So please, lift your head. I'm sorry, Kagerou. We'll talk about that later. Without looking at Shion-san, Kagerou-san stroked my face. You won't need to worry anymore. This doctor came from the West, and he's a skilled physician. Okay. My throat was still wheezing with difficulty, but the gentle color of the boy's eyes filled my mind with a feeling of peace. Please, take a look at her. Because the doctor needed to examine me, Kagerou-san left the room. While the doctor examined me, I looked up at Shion-san. I'm sorry. If only I was able to better persuade Kagerou-san. It's okay, you don't need to apologize. I heard from Kagerou about what happened between you and him. Shion-san, I'm sorry. This is because I asked too much of you. Shion-san's face became clouded with remorse. I was contacted by him the day before yesterday. He wanted me to help you. Kagerou-san asked you to help me? Yes, this doctor is an acquaintance of my husband. They've always taken care of me. An acquaintance of her husband. Kagerou knew that I had an acquaintance who was a doctor, so when I saw how desperate he was, I knew it immediately. You guys love each other. So that's what happened? Kagerou-san. Whether it was about buying his freedom or anything else, he said that he hated to depend on someone else. But for me, I see. The fact that you continue to have a fever with these symptoms makes this a little difficult. I left the medicine that you'll need in my bag outside, so I'm going to go get it. Okay. When the foreign doctor tried to leave the room, did you finish your examination? Kagerou-san, who seemed to have been waiting outside the room the whole time, showed his face. I'll explain the details of her illness later, so please wait in the room for a bit. The doctor left and Kagerou-san came into the room. An awkward atmosphere flowed throughout the plain-looking room. Sister, thank you. With his head down, Kagerou-san spoke in a small voice. You helped me despite the fact that I didn't even try to hear you out. It's okay. I'm doing this because I want to. I also cause problems for Misao-san. I don't mind at all. So, Kagero, did you consider my offer to buy your freedom? While sitting on his knees, Kagero formed his hands into fists on top of his knees. This and that are completely different stories. Okay, I understand. Then let's talk about it a little. You can give me your reply later. Shion-san started to talk with a serious look on her face. After you were taken to Kikuya, I fell in love with a certain gentleman on this island. We vowed to stay together in the future, but the expression on her face as she remembered the past became tinged with pain. We ran away from this island with a small boat, but we went adrift after being drawn into a whirlpool. At that time, my current husband was passing by in his boat, and thanks to his care, I was saved. Though the gentleman who I ran away with didn't make it. Thanks to my husband, I was able to draw his final breath in peace. So what are you trying to say? There's a big whirlpool between this island and the mainland, so it's very difficult to get to the mainland without using the official route. Shion-san sighed once and then stared straight at me and Kagerou-san. You guys still don't understand anything at all. I understand that you love each other, but on this island, if a couple wants to be happy together, what I'm trying to say is that you have to risk your life. When I looked at her serious eyes, I remembered the young couple that I saw once before at Inari Shrine. At that time, their eyes were fever hot. Is that what it was? If they are unable to fulfill their emotions, then they didn't mind risking their lives. Just experiencing that painful feeling was enough for me. I don't want you guys to risk your lives to fulfill your love, sister. So please, accept my offer to buy your freedom. But when Shion-san grabbed the hem of Kagerou-san's clothing, that's selfish of you. Kagerou-san? I looked up at him with my eyes that were moist from the fever. Kagerou-san fiercely glared at Shion-san with his sharp eyes. You're just glossing it over, aren't you? But Kagerou, I'm thinking of your happiness, so then what about my feelings? Are you saying that without someone's help, I can't even make the person that I love happy? That's wrong. As long as Kagerou-san loves me, I am happy. Kagerou-san, please listen to me. Please calm down and think about it. I lifted my body that was in pain from the fever and extended my hand to Kagerou-san. Misao. His gentle lips touched my fingers. Kagerou-san held my hand with both of his hands like he was hugging it. Then he laid a kiss on my hand. Misao. Kagerou-san just found it difficult to honestly show his emotions, but... Excuse me, I'm back now. Everyone in the room focused their attentions on the doctor who came in from the entrance. Oh my, is this a bad time? No, it's okay. Shion, may I have a word with you? The doctor seemed to be whispering something in Shion-san's ear. Was he speaking a foreign language? Shion-san then spoke to him in the same language. What happened? Before I asked for a drop of water from in the backyard, and someone replied perfectly in my mother language, so I'm wondering who that was. If that's the case, it might be Kagerou-san. Kagerou? I see. Well, he's incredible. In any case, you guys were in the middle of a conversation, weren't you? It's fine, we're finished already. Yes. Really? Well then, I'll go back to examining her. The foreign doctor took a bottle of pills from out of his bag. First, you should take these pills after each meal, and we'll see how things go from there. Okay, thank you so much. After that, the foreign doctor asked me 2 or 3 questions, and then he left the room with Shion-san. But Kagerou-san was staring at the sliding door where Shion-san and the foreign doctor left through, and the whole time he had a stern look on his face. Chapter 13. I Want to Know You More. And so, I passed a number of days sick in bed at Kikuya. Going to draw some cold waters. Can you change the towel on your bed? Okay. Kagerou-san was still tending to me the whole time. The coolness of the new towel that was placed on my forehead felt refreshing. My temperature still won't go down, but I feel better, and I think I can at least walk today. Really? That sounds good. Hey, look at this. Kagerou-san had taken a bouquet of flowers and began putting the flowers in a vase. I picked some flowers from the backyard today, too. These flowers are the purple flowers that reminded me of Kagerou-san. Kagerou-san, thank you. For my sake, he took care of me all day long. I felt something warm well up in my heart when I looked at the flowers. What happened? His slim fingers then wiped something from the corner of my eyes, and that's when I noticed that I was crying. Strange. I just felt happy though. Did this continuous high fever make it so that I cry easily? You can't help it since you have a fever. Look. Kagerou-san took a single flower from the vase and put it into my hair. Kagerou-san? Crying isn't going to help you get better. You have to at least keep your feelings bright. You should get better already. When you do, why don't we go to the fair again sometime? Yeah, that sounds nice. Did he smile peacefully like this before? In a matter of days, I came to know many things about Kagerou-san that I didn't know before. When I was truly suffering, he wouldn't say anything frustrating. He always dedicated himself to my care. It would also be nice to go and see the cherry blossom. Yes. There are so many places that I want to go with you. I want to know you more. I want you to know me more. Me too. So, you should get well soon. But my condition was, my temperature was showing no sign of coming down. Are you okay to keep your upper body raised like that? I'll wipe your body down a little. Yes, I'm okay. Kagerou-san rolled up my sleeve and wiped my arm with a towel. Then, Kagerou, Misao-san, the doctor is coming. May I come in? Kagerou-san's voice rang out from the outside of the sliding door. Misao-san, how do you feel? It's been a few days, hasn't it? I've come to check up on you. The doctor from the other day and Shion-san showed up with Kagerou-san. I heard from Kagerou that you've gotten a little better. How do you feel? Yes, I feel better than before, but... Well, may I examine you? The doctor took his medical instruments out of his bag. Please, take a look at her. Hey, Misao-san, let me lift your body up a little more. Kagerou-san put the towel that he was using to wipe me down back into the water bucket. And then he put his arm on my back to lift my body up. Oh, you're Kagerou-kan, right? Thank you for your help. And how do you feel? She can eat meals, and I make her take her medicine every day. My fever continues throughout the day, but she's relatively stable at night. Yes, it's just as Kagerou-san said. I see. What do you think? The doctor took my arm and checked my pulse. In front of me, Kagerou-san stared at us as the doctor performed his examination. Misao-san, he's been taking care of you with great care. You are precious to me. Huh? The doctor looked at us and smiled benignly at us. Kagerou-kun is still young, and he's devoted to you. Don't you think so? I felt that my cheeks would turn red if I voiced anything, so I quietly nodded. Is that so? I inadvertently touched the flower that was placed in my hair. This is the flower that Kagerou-san picked for me. He has a beautiful heart. I wonder why a smile naturally came across my face when I talked about him. Did he put these flowers in the vase? The doctor pointed to the vase that was set near the window. Yes. He said that they were beautiful flowers, so he's been picking them for me every day since then. The doctor laughed cheerfully together with Shion-san, who was behind him. Ah, they're truly beautiful. But then the doctor's expression became slightly clouded. But you guys met in the wrong place. If you guys met outside of this island, you could spend many happy days together. There's no woman that would be fine with having the man they love sleep with other women. That's right. No matter how devoted he was to me, Kagerou-san was a gentleman of the night. This was a painfully heart-wrenching reality. The doctor looked at us one by one with fully serious eyes. It's good that he's here now. Since he's important to you, he should hear about your illness. Is it okay for you not to ask the other people to leave the room? He spoke slowly to make sure he was clearly understood. For some reason, Shion-san and Kagerou-san were looking down sadly in the back of the room. I don't understand what you mean, but I'm okay. Alright. The doctor took one large breath. I want you to listen to me calmly. The truth is, the time that you two can be together will not be so long. Huh? Doctor, what did you just say? Instantly, my vision and the inside of my head went completely white. It won't be long? Kagerou-san and I, the time that we can be together. Wait, what do you mean by that? Kagerou-san's voice brought my consciousness back to reality. The doctor kept looking down and... Misao-san's high fever has caused a chronic illness she's had since she was born to worsen. If noticed earlier, we could have controlled it with medicine, but if it's progressed this far... So what are you trying to say? Without realizing it, my fingers grabbed Kagerou-san's hand. It was scary. I didn't want to hear it. But she has 6 months at best. That's my prognosis. No. Huh? What are you saying? You're a skilled Western doctor, aren't you? Kagerou-san scowled at the doctor and shook his shoulders. Don't say such a strange joke. Is it true? Kagerou-san, who was waiting near the sliding door and had yet to say anything, finally spoke. Yes, even with Western medicine, there's nothing that we can't do. In my unclear state of consciousness, I saw Kagerou-san place his hand on Kagerou-san's crestfallen shoulders. Kagerou, you can't be here in the red light district with her in a critical condition like that. You should leave immediately and be with Misao. You have to choose what you think is the best way for these 6 months. 6 months left? Is that all the time that Kagerou-san and I can be together for? No, it can't be true. It just can't. This must be some kind of bad dream. Kagerou-san, what are you saying? I can't even do that in the first place. No, Kagerou. I can get you out of here right away, can't I? With her eyes filled with tears, Shion-san stared at us. But for me, this didn't feel the least bit real. Could you give us a moment? In the suffocating silence, the only thing heard was Kagerou-san's quiet murmurs. The two of us were left alone in the room. The silence was painful. I couldn't think of anything. Would you bring me to the garden? Misao? I can't see the sky from here, and it's difficult to breathe. Do you feel okay? Yes. Kagerou-san carried me in his arms to the garden. He then draped a gown over me, and we sat on the edge of the hallway. The outside world that I didn't see for a while, the green, water, and tall sky were all full of life. It's so beautiful, but my body, in the future, I won't be able to live with Kagerou-san. I only have 6 months left. Those words that were said to me remained in my heart like it was meant for someone else. It's been fun so far, hasn't it? Only a short time has passed since I met you, Kagerou-san, but we walked around town and went to the fair together, and we confirmed our love to each other. It was really fun for me. Tears came flooding out of my eyes like my tear ducts were broken. Misao! Kagerou-san, who was only snuggling his shoulders up against me in silence until now, hugged my body tightly. It's okay to cry. How can he be so kind? When I first met him, I had no idea that behind his harsh words laid a heart this pure. Kagerou-san! His arms wanted me so much that it felt like our skin would melt into each other. It felt warm. I wanted to stay in his arms forever. Don't try to be tough. Even if I have 6 months left, I just want to stay here forever and ever, until I expire. We hugged each other for a long time, and confirmed each other's existence. I was a fool. I didn't even notice what was most important to me. His hand, which was gently stroking my back, suddenly stopped. Misao, I want you to marry me. What? Me? I can't do that. Why? But I won't be around for much longer. Even if we do that, it would only make you sad in the end. I don't like that. I don't like that. Not at all. Tears flowed out of my eyes once again. I cried so much that it became hard to breathe. It just wouldn't stop. It doesn't matter. The most important thing for me is to be with you, Misao. Kagerou-san. The strength of his arms with which he embraced my body had completely changed from that of a boy to that of a man. The voice with which he whispered into my ears was gentle in every respect. I'll never leave you, I swear it. Will you not regret your words? Suddenly, Kagerou-san spoke to us from the shadows in the hallway. Kagerou-san, why are you here? I'm not the only one here. When I looked back, I could see not only Kagerou-san, but also the doctor and Shion-san. Sister! Kagerou-san looked at Shion-san's face and twisted his mouth like he was reluctant to say something. It's okay, Kagerou. You can say anything, you know. I know it's selfish of me, but for Misao's sake, please pay for my freedom. I just can't stand having the person that I love suffer alone in an unknown place. If she will suffer, I want her to share both her pain and happiness with me. Kagerou. Yes, you finally got it. These are your true feelings. Suddenly, the atmosphere completely changed. What? Finally got it. Why was the doctor smiling? Not just the doctor, but Shion-san and Kagura-san too. Everyone? I'm sorry, Kagerou. I heard about you from them and ended up becoming an accomplice. Huh? Kagura-san? That's right. I heard from Shion-san that you weren't being honest about your feelings. In other words, it was all an act. We did it to make you realize your true feelings. So, what about my illness? It's a common epidemic disease in the West. You'll be fine. Your temperature will go down in 3 days. Huh? It was a lie? So I can be with Kagerou-san from now on? No way. Wait. So you mean that everyone conspired to deceive us? This was all... Don't you think there are good lies and bad lies? I can't believe this. You guys are absolutely terrible for making her suffer with that lie. I'm sorry, but Kagerou. Kagura-san stood quietly in front of an infuriated Kagerou-san. You're the one who kept on lying to your own feelings, Kagerou. A person's life may come to an end tomorrow or 1 year later. You just don't know. If you would regret it, then you should follow the answer that you found just now. I didn't teach you scholarly studies in martial arts for your useless pride. Kagura-san. The area was once again visited by silence, but it wasn't heavy like before. It felt like it was filled with kindness. Let me think about it for a while. Kagerou-san said only that, and then he left the room. The last chapter, the wedding. A few days after that, my temperature went down just as the doctor said, and I was able to go. But even when I was working at home, I want you to marry me, Misao. All I could think about were the words he said at that time. After that, Kagerou-san said that he needed more time to think and avoided any direct answers. And I still didn't ask him for his answer. While thinking such things, "Hey, Misao, there's something amazing coming to the front of the store." "Mother? What happened?" She opened the door and called me with her eyes wide with surprise. "Just come quickly." Yes." My mother pulled my hand and I ran to the entrance of the store. There, I saw some people that shouldn't be here, and a certain someone that shouldn't be here. They were definitely there, all right before my eyes. This is... Walking slowly, step by step, was this reality or a dream? Under a clear sky, over the bridge to the market, it looked like a scene taken right out of a picture screen. A courtesan's procession heading right towards us, and the gentleman of the night walking with a pigeon-toed gait under a parasol was... Kagerou-san! Though surprised by all this, I was also captivated by the otherworldly beauty of this boy as he presented his limber strength. Then our eyes met. It was like he was testing me. That cunning glance of his certainly belonged to the boy that I was familiar with. But why did they come here? Before I knew it, people gathered and the market was filled with the buzz of activity. But the procession stopped right in front of me. Kagerou? Misao, I've come to pick you up. What? I have come here for you. But why? The courtesan's procession. Is it okay for you to leave Yoshiwara? I wanted you to see me in the courtesan's procession once before the end. I begged for this until they gave in. The end? The boy straightened his back as if it were normal, and from the line that was formed behind him, Kagerou-san, the doctor, and Shion-san came before me. Misao-san, I have a special favor that I'd like to discuss with you. I asked them to first come in my house, and with my mother also present, I listened to her story. To expand his business, Shion-san's husband was looking for 2 people to work and trade for him. That's what she said. And my husband thought that a young couple would be good for this due to items and trades. So he's asking us if you and I can do this, Misao. I can't believe my Misao is being asked to do something like that. So why did Kagerou-san come with you? I will explain that. I've actually been looking for a medical interpreter in Japan and Holland for some time. I didn't expect there to be a man as wise as him on this small island in the Far East. That's why. I've already talked to Aroha-san about buying your freedom to allow for that. The only thing left is your answer, Misao. Kagerou-san and Kagerou-san will also be free from Yoshiwara? Is this all true? It's not like before? I feel bad for deceiving you guys before, but this time it's a genuinely true story, so don't worry. I looked at my mother. Of course, I'm okay with it. Your life is yours, Misao. Mother! I started to cry even though I was in front of people. But I didn't know you were going to Yoshiwara often. And you've got such a smart guy, too. What are you saying? The awkwardness and embarrassment of this made me raise my voice. Misao, are you going to laugh or cry? Choose one. But, well, Kagerou-san and Kagerou-san will be free. And Kagerou-san and I will be together from now on? I wondered if this was really a dream. The more I thought about it, the happier I became, and I couldn't stop crying. I'm not surprised. You were ill until the other day, and of course you wouldn't expect all this to happen. But I told you, didn't I? I said I would come here for you. While everyone looked at us with a smile on their faces, Kagerou-san wiped away the tears that ran down my cheeks. That day, it became clear after Kagerou-san told me, there are more important things than my useless pride. Misao, will you marry me? Marriage. A promise to be with me forever. Kagerou-san. Yes, of course. Please make me happy. I smiled and nodded with all my might. A few days later. This belt looks good. What do you think? It's not too tight? No, it's fine. I stood in front of the mirror as Shion-san helped me put on my kimono. A white wedding kimono. Today was the day. The day that I would become Kagerou-san's wife. Yes, the official marriage ceremony would be later. But Kagerou-san and Kagerou-san were going to retire soon. So it was decided to have a banquet at Kikuya, the place that they were beholden to. Can I come in? While saying that, Kagerou-san opened the sliding door and came into the room. Oh, wow. He stared at me like his eyes were licking me from head to toe. I guess it's like they say, anybody can look good with the right clothes. What do you mean, Kagerou-san? I'm sorry. It's just difficult for me to be honest in front of people. Kagerou, how rude of you to say something like that to your cute bride. Oh, it's okay. This is Kagerou-san showing his love in his own way. Kagerou-san turned his gaze to Shion-san, and after hesitating for a moment, he turned his eyes slightly to the ground. Sister, thank you so much. Kagerou. When I looked at them like this, it was clear to me. It was clear that these words were filled with so many feelings. No, it's okay. Best thing for me is for you guys to be happy together. Shion-san laid both of her hands on her chest, and her eyes were slightly moist with tears. Just then. How long are you guys gonna make us wait? Everyone is getting tired of waiting in the parlor room. Kagerou-san and Takao-san showed up to check on us. Kagerou-san, Takao-san, I'm sorry. Today's Kagerou-san celebration too. It's fine, don't worry about it. To me, more than this banquet, I'm happy that my knowledge was recognized. I must thank you. As Kagerou-san tried to bow, Kagerou-san ran to him. No, I'm the one who should be thanking you. No matter what, I'll never forget everything that you've done for me up until now. I will miss you, Kagerou-san. You have been like an older brother to me. Be happy to have someone that you want to make happy. To live your life in your own way, in the way that you believe in, Kagerou. Yes. Well, would you look at that? You've become such a beauty that it's regrettable. Takao-san looked at me and an alluring grin came across his face. Maybe I should have laid claim to you when you first came, even if I had to do it by force. Takao-san, stop making eyes at my bride. I should take my leave before I make the young groom mad. Well, we will be waiting in the banquet room. Kagerou, you should hurry and get changed. And so those three people left, leaving Kagerou-san and me in the room. Good grief. Even if he is the top gentleman, he was really pushing it. Oh my, don't say that. Today is a day for joy and celebration. No, I will say that. When you look so beautiful like that, I didn't understand what he was trying to say. I couldn't hear the last part. Kagerou-san, your face is bright red. You don't need to say such things to me. I'm going to change my clothes, so please leave the room. Yes. Then, when I put my hand on the sliding door, you look much better than I expected. When I left the room, our lips touched each other's lips. But before I could even look back at him, the door was quickly closed. Kagerou-san. I used my hands to cover my lips that had touched his lips. I then leaned on the door and immersed myself in happiness for a while. The celebration that was held was very splendid. Congratulations, Misao-san, Kagerou. Looking at you two like this, the two of you make a good match. The blessings that everyone gave brought life to the banquet even further. Yes, you guys really do look like a painting, don't you? Yes, they really do. It's so nice. Kagerou, I won't be able to see you for a while, but... Kagerou-san looked at me with his kind eyes, and then he looked at Kagerou-san. Take care of Misao. Yes, Kagerou-san. Kagerou-san firmly held my shoulder next to him. In the arms of the one you love, there is no happier place. Not in this entire world. Misao. As we stared at each other, our eyes were filled with love. That alone was enough to wrap me up in a feeling of extreme happiness. We will be together forever. No matter what happens, I won't let you go. Yes, Kagerou-san. We firmly swore to each other, and we then exchanged our second kiss of the day. Our longest and lightest kiss ever.